Yes. Okay. So can I quickly introduce what this webinar is for? Again, sorry, it's you need to listen again because I want to spread this video to future participants. Okay. So I would like to start with how me and Shajib is met and started to work together. Is I kind of found him online by searching internet, and I found this great skilled guy, and he is specialized in Rhinoceros and Grasshopper and many other architectural software, and including Lumion animation software, and he's even able to produce websites. So he's so skilled, and I found it would be great to work together with him. So I contacted him, and he was interested in the specific project I wanted to work with him. And he said, yes, it's interesting. So that's how we started to collaborate. And now we are working on an art project in Itoshima, Fukuoka. I will quickly share with you what it's going to be like so that you get a sense what we are doing. Okay. So are you seeing my Rhinoceros screen? No. Are you?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So this is a kind of two egg shaped thing on the top of the mountain. So this is 3D scanned topography, which I used iPad. And we are designing something like this, which is for artists to meditate or in the forest to get inspiration. And yeah, we are going to incorporate the Grasshopper script to create grid shell structure to make this thing possible. And yeah, so this is a project we are working together right now. And Ibuta-kun is actually trying to construct this thing in 2 weeks from yesterday. And I guess he's pretty pressured. He's got a lot of pressure because he's almost there alone and trying to learn Rhinoceros starting today, and he's already learned quite a lot. He's very talented, I guess. Anyway, so we are working on this project together, and we are working together on several other projects I'm working on. So that's how we work together, and we decided to provide this kind of Rhinoceros and Grasshopper sessions mainly for students and probably for professionals as well online, so that you have very, very good opportunity to learn real useful skill for architectural modeling. Okay, so that's the introduction. And for today, we have about an hour for you guys to enjoy this lecture from Shajib from Bangladesh. And today I would like to do this webinar in this way. So Ibuta-kun is working for the project I showed just now, and he needs to learn the Rhinoceros to make this thing happening. So in the first 30 minutes, Shajib will explain very, very basics of the Rhinoceros tools, and Ibuta-kun can ask Shajib the question if you have any question, and you can interrupt him okay, the first 30 minutes, mainly Shajib will explain to us. And then the later 30 minutes, Ibuta-kun would be able to question Shajib and me, how can I do this in order to achieve a specific thing? So, okay, now I would like to start, and I will give Shajib the mic. Okay, let's start.
Thank you, Kaz. Welcome, everyone. I am Shujaul Islam Shajib. I'm from Bangladesh. I have recently graduated from architecture from one of the best universities in my country. It's called BUET. It's an engineering university that provide and offers BArch and other engineering degrees. You can see these images of my institute. And here is my website. It's at this moment under construction. I'm trying to make a portfolio website. You can have a look at my portfolio by visiting my website. Though it's not updated, it's only contains my works from 2017 to 2019. But you can get an idea what kind of work I do I did academically. And I also have a company. It's called ArchTwist. I started it around 2018. Initially, we only offered architectural idea competition. It's international. Students and professionals from all around the world can participate in this competition. At this moment, we have one competition ongoing. The submission will end in 3 days. Maybe you can have a look. If not this one, maybe you can participate in the future competitions as well. You can also have a look at our previous competitions and get an idea of what kind of work we did throughout this platform.
Yeah,
And
actually,
last year,
the last one, I was invited as a jury.
Yeah,
Yeah, thank you
was
so
a
much.
juror in this street museum competition that we ended a few months back. Last year, we also started various skill development courses for students from architecture and other creative fields. Specifically, we have courses on various architectural software and visualization techniques. So these are our activities from this platform. These courses are mainly in Bangla for Bangladeshi students. So this would be a great way to start and expand our activity in foreign countries and for foreign students. So as an experiment, we are doing this with Kaz, with Japanese student. Hope you will like and you will learn something new. Okay, let's go back to our Rhino program.
By the way,
Can you see
sorry
my
to
Rhino
interrupt.
screen?
Sorry, can I interrupt you just 30 seconds? So I think both of us are a big fan of Rhinoceros because it's great tool for making interesting shape in a minute. It takes quite a lot of effort to do the unique shape using another tool such as Autocad, which is famous software in Japan. I would say only, not worldwide. And even Revit is not very capable with creating interesting shape, especially organic shapes. And that's why we believe Rhinoceros is the best tool to create interesting shape. And also we can incorporate the programming tool, which is Grasshopper, so that we can do parametric design using this Rhinoceros and Grasshopper. So that's how it's powerful. And then that's how I and Shajib wanted you guys to, the young person, to learn this tool so that you can be more creative. And I guess we need to learn Revit or ArchiCAD. I believe you should learn Revit. And also for visualization, Lumion is very good. So those tools are the main tools that architects should learn. What do you think, Shajib?
Yes, you are right.
I think those are the essentials. SketchUp can do good work, but I think Rhinoceros is better. It's up to each person.
Thank you,
Okay.
Gus.
Yes.
As Gus was saying, we will need to learn one modeling software and one visualization software and another one for doing our drawings. So Rhino is very good for and very powerful for producing 3D models. And I guess all of you are familiar with AutoCAD, right? How many of you know AutoCAD?
Can you guys raise your hands? Who knows AutoCAD?
Because maybe you can translate. Yeah.
No, I think they understand. 松崎さんも入ってくれました。こんばんは。
Okay, great.
So there are two people know AutoCAD.
Okay. So Rhino is very kind of similar to AutoCAD in terms of drawing. I personally use Rhino for all kind of drawings. I have AutoCAD, but I prefer using Rhino for the drawings as well, because when you are using the same platform, you don't need to export and import and all the other things that you need to do when you are trying two different software. So I use AutoCAD for drawings as well, but today we will focus on 3D modeling specifically. So when you open Rhino, I'm starting from very beginning. I'm hoping there are some very beginner students as well. Okay. So when you open Rhino, you can see a screen like this. And we have these small icons around the edges. These are basically various commands. So you can do a lot of things with these tools and components. So let me start from the beginning. In the very top, you can see file, edit, view, curve, all these various tabs. These tabs are for specifically various objects that you work with. For example, if I annotate, the way modeling works in Rhino is you basically make points. I will annotate and try to draw something. These are the points. So basically, you make points, and when you connect points like this, they become a line, right? So maybe you can produce a various line like this. So a mesh like this, a combination of line will make a surface. Do you understand? Okay. So for example, we have a surface now with points and lines. And when you add few surfaces like this, you ultimately make a solid object. Okay, or polysurface. So this is the way Rhino works. Points, then comes line, then comes surface, and finally, with a lot of surface, we make solid objects. Something like this. Okay, so this is the flow. And you can also see the similar thing in the top. We first have curve, and then we have surface. Sub is similar to a surface, basically. It's one kind of surface. And then we have solid. And mesh is a different kind of solid. So this is the way the Rhino is organized. So all the things that you need to produce a curve, you can find under this tab. line, polyline, rectangle, polygon, and other stuffs. And then there comes surface. All the way you can create various surfaces and edit them and modify them are in the lower part. Similarly, it goes this way. And you can see there are a lot of options in Rhino, like thousands. So the most useful and common items that we'll need when we're trying to make something or do something, you can find them in these edges. Or you can also find these similar things under here, curve tools, surface tools, solid tools, etc. But the most important thing is this command bar. When you will get familiar with all the commands in Rhino, you will not actually find things like, where is my line? Where is my, not like this. You will just write line and press enter or space bar, and you can start drawing a line. When you are trying to draw a polyline, you can just write polyline and start drawing a polyline. So initially, you will need to, as you are not familiar with the commands yet, you can do the similar thing by from these icons. If I click in here, I can draw line, and then I can draw polyline like this. So you have various way to do the same thing. You can do it from here, or you can go to this curve and then line and then single line. And you can also write, as I've already said, in the command line. So I have shown you can draw line in various way, from this tab or from this icon or from this command bar. So all this way you can do all the things that are available in Rhino. Because is everyone is understanding? Can you please ask them?
Yeah. 今、理解できなかったところある方、手を挙げて発言してミュート外して、発言もお願いできますか？大丈夫かな？ I think it's okay. You can go ahead.
Okay, sure. So you get a basic idea where you can find all the tools and commands that are available in Rhino for modeling or modifying anything, something like that. And in this bottom part, you have some important toggles that you can turn on or turn off to assist your modeling. So we will go through this in a later part. And in this right side, you will have some important information that you will need when you are trying to model something. So this is the basic interface of Rhino. We have layering options in this material, rendering options, camera angle and scenes properties. This you will find in the right side. Okay, so this is the basic of the interface. And before you start modeling, you will need to modify some things. I will show you that. I will just close my Rhino and open it. So when you open Rhino like this, or from your computer, you will have a window like this. If you go to this new, you will have these templates, large objects, centimeters, and all the other ways that you can model. So if you are making the drawings and modeling in millimeter or meter, you can choose these two options. As we are doing architecture, it's typically a large object. And if you are modeling something very small, like a ring or a jewelry, etc., you can go for these small objects. The difference between these two is the tolerance is very low for these small objects, and this tolerance is typically a bit higher. So it's easier for us to work in large object environment. So for example, if you are working in millimeter, you can select this and you will have this open. Now, I would suggest you go for options. So you will have this option tab. Here you can do a lot of things, but first what you need to do is go to this unit and you can modify further about your unit setting. If you want to change millimeter to other unit, you can do it here. You can increase or decrease the tolerance value. So if it's 0.01 unit, you cannot model anything lower than this value. Like if you want to model a line which is lower than this value, it will not work. So typically it's all right for
our. I never knew about this thing. I never cared about this thing. Do you really?
Yeah, it usually not a problem for our case, but it's better if you know when you are trying to drawing something complex, you will it will be better for you to know.
これは
Similarly,
sorry 許容値トロレンスって許容値っていう和訳ですけど、so it's like the precision. Does it matter with precision? Like how much detail you can model, or is that kind of thing?
Yeah, it's the lowest value of any measurement that you can input.
For instance,
Similarly,
if you're doing tiny jewelry design, you need to care about the tolerance differently to making huge architectural model. Is that right?
Yeah. If it doesn't matter, you can increase this tolerance value to even 1 unit. So you cannot model anything lower than millimeter. So the file will be lighter.
Okay, I see.
Okay. Again, we have this angle tolerance. It's 1 degrees. So you cannot model anything in lower than 1 degree angle. Like you cannot make anything half degree or like 0.5 degree, something like that. Okay, this is one thing. And you have this various line types, hatch, grid, etc. that you can all toggle. If you are, it will be important for you if you are doing the drawings in Rhino. For modeling, we don't care much about this line type, hatch, and other object. But if you are doing the drawings in Rhino, you will need to work with this line type, hatch, and other stuff. Okay. And finally, in this component, you can go to this Aliases. So Aliases is the shortcuts. Okay. And maybe if you go to your Rhino, you will not see this much option in your Rhino. I have a lot of shortcuts already placed here. You can do one thing. Those of you who are familiar with AutoCAD, you can import the AutoCAD shortcuts here. So whatever AutoCAD shortcut that you use, you can also use the same. To do that, you will need to import, and I have a file that I can share with you. This file, let me just do it for you.
I didn't know that. That's interesting. By the way, I strongly suggest you use English version of the Rhinoceros because Japanese translation doesn't really make sense sometimes. And if you can read English, I strongly suggest you learn English version. And also because all the commands you need to type with English words. So it's better to use, you cannot put Japanese command like 四角形 or whatever the thing. You have to type in English. So there's no point using Japanese version.
Okay. So as I was saying that you can import all the various AutoCAD commands in Rhino. To do that, you need to import this file, and you will have this command that 120 aliases found and 120 imported, and you will have this the same thing. So now I will not need to type line. Okay, So usually what you will need is you need to type line to do the line, but I can just type L and enter. For polyline, I can just enter PL and enter and do the polyline. And then for circle, I can just type CO. Sorry, C. For
So
moving any
fast.
object, I can just type M and do this. So this is optional. If you prefer, you can do that. If you do not, you don't need to. And it will be easier for those one who already familiar with AutoCAD. Otherwise, it's all right. You don't need to do this. So did you understand what I said this far?
Any question? Raise your hand or give us unmute and talk, please. Can
Okay.
I ask a comment from somebody? Okay, じゃあ、イブタ君ちょっと一言お願いします。In English.
Yeah, yeah, great. I'm very surprised that you are great teaching.
Anything unclear?
Yeah, no, I understand almost
Nice.
all word. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Maybe because you can provide them this recording so that they can go through
Sure.
this when they have time, and
Yeah,
if
yeah.
they have any question, they can reach me later.
Yes.
Okay. Now I will move to another important object, that is Gumball. Okay. I use this like all the time, and it's very useful. Let me show what it does. So for example, I want to model a box. So you can see this box. You can just go to this and it's a box, right? Very easy. So to make this box, I'll show you again. You will need to place one point, another point, and then the height. This is the way you can model a box, basic box. Okay. Now, what is Gumball? Gumball is this, you can see in the bottom mid center, it's written Gumball and it's bold. So when I select any object in Rhino, you can see these arrows and this curved line. If I turn this off, when I select something, there is no Gumball. But when I turn on the Gumball, you can see this arrow. Okay, so this is the Gumball. So what Gumball does, it does a lot of things. First, you can use this arrow to move this object. Okay, for now, we'll turn off snapping and I'll make this smooth. Okay, I'll go to the other options later. Let me first show you the basics of Gumball. So what you can do, you can move this object in any direction using this arrow. So here is green, red, and blue, and this refers to these axes. You can move objects along this axis. Another thing that you can do, you can rotate the object using these quarter circles. You can rotate this like this along any axis that you like. Similarly, when you are moving something with this Gumball, you can also do click on this arrow and input a measurement like 1000. So it will move 1000 millimeter along this arrow. Similarly, you can go for 500 this direction, it will move 500 millimeter along this direction. In similar way, you can click on these quarter circles and write 45. So it's rotated 45. And if I want, I can rotate in another axis as well. So it's a very randomized rotation now. Okay, so this is the basics of Gumball. Okay, so I will do another thing. I will make a surface. not surface. Let's make a point. Okay. So if you select this point, you can also see this Gumball, and you can move and do other stuff, as I have already said. You can see two more options now. You can see this dot inside the line. What you can do with this dot, you can extrude. So see, our point became line. And I have already told you in the very beginning, when one point is extruded, or basically 2 points are connected, we get a line. So I only have a point, and when I extrude this, I getting a line. Similarly, we have a line now. If we extrude this, what we will get? A surface. See? And now, when I extrude a surface, what I get? A solid.
This is amazing. I didn't know that.
So this is the relation between line, surface, solids, and points. So you need to understand this when you are trying to model something complicated and you know the basics. Okay. So I'll move back to my point. And another thing, when you are selecting a solid object, see, we don't have this extrude option because you cannot extrude solid anymore, right? Okay. So let me make a line and then a surface, and then we can make this a solid. Okay. And we have a few more options in Gumball. For example, here is this little square. What it does is it scales in the specific direction that you mentioned. So you can scale this in various ways. So this is scaling, this is moving, this is rotation. This is rotation. Okay, so these are the basic three options, and we have this another thing here. You can move it in multiple axes at the same time holding this grid. And for specific axis, you will need to hold these arrows. Okay. Now we'll do something more with this Gumball. For example, if you press Alter and then click on this arrow and write 2500, you can make a copy. Okay. Same way, you can hold Alter and click here and then write a value. You can make a copy while rotating. So what Alter does, the Alter button makes a duplicate of what you are doing. The original object remains the same and the duplication will take place. So this is Alter. Okay. So
Amazing.
this is the basic of Gumball, and you can do a lot further than this. For example, if you click on right click on this Gumball, you will have this option. One is very important, that is smooth dragging and snappy dragging. Smooth dragging is turned on right now, so it does not snap to anything. It smoothly moves around. But if I want, I can turn this snappy dragon on, and it will snap to various objects. For that, you will need to turn on OSnap as well. Now I can move this like this. It will move to this point. Okay. So snappy dragging, you can snap to various objects while moving or extruding, something like that. For example, so I have this surface. I want to extrude this exactly to this top. What I can do, I can just start dragging and touch this corner or this line. And now the height matches. it's the same height. So when snappy dragging is on, you can snap to and take reference from different points. And sometimes we don't need the snap. We can then go to smooth, and then you will not snap to anything. It will smoothly move around. So this is another option. And now I will do something. Okay. Don't worry about how I did this. Let's see the options of Gumball now. I will explore this. Okay. When I select any object like this surface, it usually the Gumball is oriented along the actual axis. So if you want to extrude, it will extrude along this actual axis, actual x-axis and y-axis. But sometimes it happens that you want to extrude or move this object along this normal of this plane. So in that case, you can change the Gumball option to align to object. Now, when you select the object, you can see the Gumball is rotated and you can extrude along this. See? Did you get the difference between the two options? Because maybe you can ask them.
Yeah, I did get that. Anyone want to say anything for this? じゃあ、ニーナさん、アンミュートして一言どうぞ。
私ですか？ちょっと、
うん
さっき入ったばっかりだった。I
本当だった
just came here like 5 minutes ago, so sorry, I don't.
But for the Gumball trick, I guess you were listening to the whole story. So please tell me what you found or what you didn't understand.
Yeah. Yeah. It's hard to say. Yeah, I could understand most of it, but I don't have that software. Yeah, Rhinoceros. So I was
Okay,
just watching it. But,
okay. Please install right now. The thing is, you might need to buy if the university don't provide.
yeah, but I heard that it's very expensive, isn't it? I don't know. But,
For students, not so much.
really?
Yeah, you can use that for free for 90 days. You should install
Okay.
right now.
Oh,
English
okay.
version. はい。イブタ君なんかある By the way, Shajib, I would like you to quickly tell us how to make the Gumball size bigger because the original one is so tiny.
Okay. You can go to option and I will have to have a look how to change the size of the Gumball. I am not sure
Okay,
if it's
sorry.
possible or not.
I will Google.
Maybe
Don't
you
worry.
can go to Gumball. Yeah, you can go here. You can go to option and this
I see.
modeling aid, and then you can go to Gumball
Okay.
and increase all this value
Mhm,
to increase the size according to
Mhm.
your preference.
mhm. No, I just
And
because
if you mess this
gu-
up,
mhm,
you can just click on this restore defaults to go back to original size.
Okay. No, the reason why I asked is that many people wanted to probably follow what you are doing using the Gumball, and if you didn't find the big size Gumball, and it becomes really hard. So that's why I interrupted.
Okay, no problem. And you can increase the size of Gumball, all the length, the scale handle size, everything from here. You can just change the value to a higher one, and it will change it will increase the size of the Gumball.
Yeah.
Even you can change the color of the Gumball as your preference.
Thank
So,
you.
but I prefer the original size for my work, so I am not changing at this moment.
Okay.
So this was the basic of Gumball. and I will show another thing quickly before I move on to something else. Okay, so you can press Ctrl and Shift at the same time and select anything. See, when I am, it's one object, I cannot select one surface by clicking here, but you can press Ctrl and Shift together and press on this surface to select this object. Now I can do anything here. I can move this. I can even extrude this. It basically looks the same, but there is difference. For example, if I move it, the top is one surface. But if I extrude this, the top is two different surface. Okay. So this is the difference. It's very handy. You see, when I was showing the last one, I moved this one edge. So you can select one edge similarly by pressing Ctrl and Shift together and then clicking on this line and by moving it.
I personally found this trick the most useful and so surprised when you told me for the first time.
Yeah, this is very handy. You can move this you can select this one edge and move this and make unique shapes like this. So this is very helpful. You can now like add surface. So this is one way of doing things. For example, now I don't want this Gumball to align with this object. I would like it to align with the actual axis. So I will go back to the align to C plane. Now it's aligned with the actual axis. So this is the basic of Gumball. I think it will be very helpful for you for basic modeling. If you are modeling something that is very organic, no curve elements and complex object, for most of our buildings, it's usually very orthogonal, 90-degree things. In that case, you can do almost everything with just Gumball and lines. Okay. So I think for today's lecture, I would conclude here. And for you guys to start, I will show you just how to create lines, and from lines you can make models with whatever I already taught you. For example, you want to make a basic wall. What you can do, you can go to this polyline and you can make the dimension of the line. See, it's not 90-degree. For making it do everything in 90 degrees, you can press F8. So it will only move in 90-degree and along the axis. You can do the same thing from this bottom part by clicking here ortho. It's now turned off. You can draw the line in any direction. You turn on this ortho, it only works in perpendicular directions. So say our room is 4 meter. So I will type 4,000, press enter, and then I go this direction, another 5,000, another 4,000, and then I will connect this by clicking here. So it's the outline of my room, right? Now you will have to offset this line. So I will type offset and select this curve, and I will place measurement how thick I want this wall to be. Say I want this wall to be 150 millimeter. I'll press 150 and press enter. And now we have two lines that refers to two edges of a wall. Now I can select this line and type planar surface, PLANAR SRF, and press enter. Now we have got this surface. And now I can give a height by using Gumball. It's the X tool. I will click on this blue dot and type 3000. Now it's a wall. Okay. It's a basic way of doing things. If you want to make doors, window, and other stuff, we'll do those things in later classes. So just to play around with these things, what I already told you and showed you, you can make a lot of things using just these basic commands and tools. So I hope you will work with these things and find a lot of questions that you can discuss with me in later classes.
Wow, this is amazing lecture. I wanted to have this 20 years ago. It's very fascinating that you started with how you make three-dimensional object by, point and then line and then surface, and finally become the solid. It's the basic of geometry, the logic, and it's so great. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kaz.
I would like to have comments from everybody. So, who hasn't spoken yet? Matsuzaki-san, any comment? Maybe he cannot talk. How about Koken-san? Can you talk? Koken-sanは、日本語の方がいいですか？喋れないかな？じゃあ、how about Ryuga-kun?
Yeah, I'm Yuga. Nice to meet you. And yeah, thank you for teaching me how to use this Rhino. And I understood and yeah, easily. And thank you. Yeah.
Have you
Welcome.
used Rhinoceros before?
Sorry?
Have you used Rhinoceros before?
No. I have used the SketchUp.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I created that object, but this one is more useful, I guess. Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
I haven't really learned how to use SketchUp, but Rhinoceros is more precise and also easy to play with. It's fun to use. And also you can do the parametric design eventually using Grasshopper. So it's perfect too. And how about Ibuta-kun?
Yeah, I thank you for teaching.
Welcome.
I could easily understand what you mean, and yeah, I will try.
Sure.
Thank you. Actually, today I provided him a simple Rhinoceros learning document, and he started to learn how to use Rhinoceros really today. And what did you find the difference between learning from the document and learning from the lecture by Shajib today? I'm interested to know, Ibuta-kun.
Sorry.
今日の僕が渡した資料でやるのと、今日のレクチャー聞くのとどっちがどうだったっていう質問。
もうレクチャー聞く方が100倍良かったです。
Okay, 100 times better than the document. That's what he says.
Thank you.
I think so. It's very, very worthy.
Thank you, guys. Hope it helped.
Yes, it did. So we have 10 more minutes.
Yeah.
Do Ibuta-kun, do you have any question? do you have any specific thing you want to know for our project?
と、
You can
Yeah.
share your screen if you want. You can
Uh,
tell your struggle if you have.
Yeah,
I think you guys can speak in Japanese and then
Okay,
Kas
okay.
can translate it to me
Mm.
if it's hard for you guys to
Mm,
communicate in English.
Okay.
So do not
So-
hesitate to make any questions because it's very important to ask questions.
Mm.
And you
So-
can also ask your questions in chat in
That's
Japanese
good.
or English.
Yeah, yeah.
Kas can translate that to me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
質問があったら、それを置いてけぼりにしないで、今すぐ解決してください。今すぐ聞いて納得してください。そうしないと覚えていけないので。
はい、じゃあ、今回、ギャラリー作ると思うんですけど、
うん。
平面図ってこれ取れたりするんかなと思って。
His question is, can we make maybe, 今、ラインを開いてる画面共有できるんだったらしてほしいなと思って。
ちょっと待ってください。
So his question was, can we make plan out of the 3D model?
Plan.
Yeah,
Yes.
plan drawing.
Yes. You can produce plans, section, elevation, everything using Rhino. For example, if this is a room, let's just make some copies. Say I have 3 rooms like this. So it's my building, just basic. And maybe it's another surface that's reference to the ground, something like this. You can produce drawings very easily. For example, I can just select all this and press make 2D, and it will basically create a 2D drawing, right? I can go to rendered view and turn on print display.
Wow, I didn't know this
So
technique.
it's the plan. Okay.
And
So
actually,
it's the basically top
can you-
view. And for making this plan, you will need to cut this, right? At some height. So for that, we will use clipping plane, and I will make a plane like this, and I will move it to where I want to cut the plane. Say, for example, here. Now, if I make the same thing, I'll just move it here. And now if I make this same make 2D and press enter, I will have this. It's the same thing, but the difference is you can make this curve elements make thick. So, okay.
Sorry, I didn't
So-
quite get that.
So just give me 1 minute.
Okay.
Okay. So what I was saying is I need to select this and turn this in top view. Now it's cut in plan. Now, if I do the make 2D and do the same, you can see I have 2 layers. One is clipping and another is just curve. So if I make this curve default, so you can see our normal
Right.
lines will be single line and cut lines will be thick as it should be in the drawings. So I can make this
Amazing.
even thicker. Only the cut
Nice.
things. So you can do the same thing using section. You will have the cut lines in a different layer, so you can play with the line thickness and other stuff. It's very powerful. I'll
This
go
is
to all
great.
those things when we have more classes in future. How can you produce drawings? How can you import this Rhino model in, prepare this Rhino model for visualizations and import it to Lumion or other software, maybe.
So
Let's see.
great. When I was at school, I did make 2D and I imported into Illustrator, and it took me ages to change the line thickness. But this is so cool.
Yeah. The
And
line thickness
can
you
you-
can do it directly in Rhino.
Can you go to plan view? I want to introduce you guys to make a fancy plan with rendered image. So because can you do render view?
It's a rendered view.
Okay, can you go closer to the rendered three-dimensional, the original model? Yeah, I mean,
Do you want?
can you show rendered plan view? Can you go the plan view with this
Yeah.
shading?
So
I want to see
it's
the
the
shaded
rendered
plan.
plan view, but it's the plan, so you cannot
Yeah.
see the shadow.
Go to the original model in plan, the left hand. Yeah, then
Yeah.
make it rendered.
Yeah.
And can you go closer? And why do we not see the shading?
Because all the surfaces are perpendicular, so all the shades are hidden inside.
Oh, really?
I will just turn this off. You can see
Okay,
now.
yeah. So if we have this kind of image, you can instantly create very fancy plan drawing. You can overlay the 2D drawing on top of this shading. So
Yeah.
the drawing suddenly becomes very, very rich. That's what I wanted to share with you guys. Sorry to interrupt.
No, it's all right. So Kaz was saying something like this.
So fast, amazing. Okay, right.
So I think
Mm,
it's a lot of new information for one day.
mhm.
You work on these things and play with all the tools that I showed. And hopefully we'll raise a lot of questions that we can discuss in next classes.
Okay, thank you so much. So let me conclude tonight's amazing lecture from Shajib. We would like to provide this useful lecture for those who are interested and who wanted to upgrade the architectural design skill, and by learning Rhinoceros and eventually Grasshopper, I think you will be able to produce better visualization, better output for your design work. So I think it's going to be very, very worthy. It's got very the content will be so useful, but like Shajib introduced in the beginning, he had been doing this live session not for free, of course, and he would like to expand his business in Japan by me helping the translation, and we are able to provide it in a very low cost basis, so students can afford, and that's what we would like to provide consistently. And we haven't decided the pricing, but we are thinking like maybe this 1 hour or 1.5 hour session, maybe for students 1,500 yen or 1,000 yen, something like that, and for professionals 2,500 yen per session. So you can choose which session you are interested to join, and maybe we can think of sharing the YouTube archive for some fee. We haven't decided yet, but it's going to be cheaper than any other services, I guess, in Japan, I would say. And the quality of what you get is definitely going to be something I don't think you will be able to find this kind of very, very useful lesson in any other places. So I think it's worth. And if I was a student, I would have paid for that. And plus, what's good about this lecture is that you have great opportunity to learn architectural English language, which you normally are able to learn only when you're abroad, only when you're studying abroad, which I did when I was 22. And it, it costed me, むっちゃ高いわけです。何百万、1000万超えちゃうぐらいの教育費がかかります。And now you are here to get this great offer. So please consider joining the Shajib's great lessons for the coming future. But for a couple of times, we would like to share this for free, and so that you can get interested, and then you can keep joining the lectures. You can join when you want to join, and you can join when you are able to afford. そんな感じで。無料でやり続けるわけにはいかないんですけど、格安で最高のレクチャーを提供できると思いますので、ぜひスポットで、購入して、レクチャーを受けてもらってっていうのをやっていきたいと思ってます。またそのニーズ、どんなニーズがあるかっていうのも逆に参加者の方から教えていただきたいところもあるので、ぜひ、こんなことが教えてほしいよとか、こういうレクチャーだったら参加したいなとかありましたら、教えてください。よろしくお願いします。Okay. I think it's about it. And what's our plan for the next time? Would we do another one tomorrow or day after tomorrow?
I think it's better if we do it day after tomorrow, because it will be very stressful for the students if we do this every day.
Yeah. Okay.
I think we should give them a break of one day, and then we can continue from here day after tomorrow.
Yeah. It could be 2 days, 3 days later.
Yeah.
Maybe 3
whenever
times a
you
week
prefer.
or 2 weeks, 2 times a week basis. Let's see what's the best.
Sure.
And I guess if okay, I would like to どうしようかな。I think we should have a mailing list or some group line or something that we can share what's happening in the future, and we can make a group line for as a platform for questions. And so if you purchase this service, then you are able to question on group line, something like that.
Yes,
maybe.
No problem.
Okay. So I will put my email address on this Zoom chat right now. So please email me if you would like to join the community. And it's not going to be, we wouldn't charge for joining for now, and we will inform you how we are going to start to ask for the fee. So please feel free to provide me your email address, and then I would create a group line for us for future uses. Okay, I will send you the message. Okay, let me stop recording right now.